morning, everybody, wherever you are, having maybe listening. This is your Wednesday wrap up. Grab some coffee. We got some funny stuff, right? I mean, there's just goofy things kind of everywhere, whether it's coaching hirings, the fact that Michael Irvin exists on this planet. I mean, there's just some goofy storylines this entire week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Michael Irvin and other stuff fueled Miami to the championship game because they're like, we got to have this guy on TV. But man, the stories. I texted you the other day and said the stories write themselves.
Oh yeah,
and then they just kept writing. I was like, all right.
Like this show, if we were going to cover all the goofy stuff that happened over this last week, it'd be like a 4-hour show.
Yeah. Which, by the way, the fans would love because they love us.
It'd be a good show. It'd be a good show. For sure. But first, let's acknowledge people in the chat here. Zach, thanks for popping in.
What's up?
Gwen, appreciate you showing up.
Always.
My mom in the house.
What's up, Mom? I thought Nick would be on the road this morning. I wasn't sure. I know you said it down to the Senior Bowl.
And oh, cool. Yeah, I'm sad I'm not going to be there this year.
Yeah.
It just couldn't make it work, but there's going to be some really cool stuff at the Senior Bowl. So Ryan Leaf is going to be a guest speaker there. So that would actually be kind of a cool thing to see which direction he goes. And then there's also going to be a meet and greet that's in like a speakeasy at the bottom of one of the hotels or something. And that sounds like that would have been fun. So,
for sure.
I got a bunch of friends that are going to be down there, but sadly, I'm going to sit here in the rain in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, I'm still covering hockey and stuff, so it's not like I'm just not doing
nothing. Right.
So I guess on that front, real quick, shout out to the Kraken after a couple of games ago where they got absolutely destroyed by Anaheim. The score didn't show it, but if you were in the game it was rough. The Ducks beat them up pretty good all game. Coach Lane actually came in the press conference and said the first 2 periods was the worst 40 minutes of hockey this entire season. So, since that time, though, they played the Devils and the Capitals last night, and they looked like a very different team. So I'm guessing whatever conversation Coach had with his team worked, because there was a very different energy over the last 2 games. And both of those teams are decent teams, right? So they came out actually shooting the puck and, skating hard and mixing it up a little bit. So maybe the Anaheim game was good for them, but man, was it a tough one to watch.
Right. Are you saying you don't think it was a pleasant conversation? Do you think maybe harsh language was used?
If you've seen Coach Lane's demeanor, I'm guessing it was probably not the conversation to be in.
A lot of stuff you can't say on air.
With the entirety of the conversation. Certainly not on any program that's FCC regulated.
Whoever's holding the button now just holds it down the whole time. Yeah, we're just.
Yeah, it started out with, "Hey guys, beep." Pretty much. Yeah, and Nick, this is. Yeah, there we go. Stick around as many hours. I like it.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this one was obviously we weren't even going to talk about this one, but this one is also bizarre. I don't know how you don't have a guy that's won as many rings as he does, have the success that he's had, not be a first ballot. That is 100% because there's some people in that room that didn't appreciate the way he treated the media.
For sure.
Right? Because this is obviously, it's a voting situation, but it's not voting on just obvious facts, right? Like Belichick has the second most wins ever, second or third most wins.
Second, I think is what he's up to. Yeah.
Right. And then has the most rings and most sustained success. Only coach 2 dynasties with the same team. Like, I mean, I don't know how much more you wanted him to do.
Yes. This is a guy. First off, Nick's a Dolphins fan, so I know it pains him to even type that out.
Sure.
But this is a guy that if you took away half his Super Bowl wins, he's still making the Hall of Fame easily, right?
Exactly.
So that doesn't even make sense. But it reminds me, not on the same level, but one year Shaq won MVP and was unanimous all except for one vote. And the one voter came out and said, I just didn't want it to be unanimous. It's like we always say that this is a fact and like blah, blah, blah. But people cannot let their emotions out of the room or whatever.
Oh,
And yeah, look, I get it. Belichick was not great to the media. I'm sorry, but he won. If somebody said, hey, this was going to be a requirement, I guarantee he wouldn't have been any nicer to the media because he's probably sitting there thinking, you know,
this is dumb.
I had all my accolades. It doesn't matter anyway, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But come on, guys, really? And then I see the post, people, oh, what about the 2 scandals? Oh, okay. One of them I hardly even cared about. Deflategate had to be one of the dumbest things, like just maybe ever to me anyway. So, and this is, I'm not a Patriots fan. I've never liked the Patriots, but this is an easy vote. He's in a Hall of Fame. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
You're devaluing the Hall of Fame by keeping him out.
I mean, it reminds me of the Terrell Owens situation.
Yeah.
Right? They kept him out because they thought he was a jerk. Because if you look at his stats, that's a first ballot Hall of Famer every time.
Right.
So now he gets in the second time. Bill Belichick will do the same. They just didn't want him in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Stupid.
Yeah. So ego driven. Like I have to prove that I'm the big. No, like they did a great job at what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
The rest is just extra. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, it just. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess the Colts guy, sure, because that was the Deflategate situation. Again, it doesn't make any sense.
No, at all.
What's happening?
What up, J-Bait? Good to see you, man.
So, I guess since we started with the NFL, let's just go ahead and keep rolling with that. So we have the Pro Bowl, and appreciate that, man. Now, this isn't the first time that we've had some ridiculous players that shouldn't be there get there. The one that really stood out to me was a few years ago when Huntley got in, right? Yep. Tyler Huntley gets in the Pro Bowl. He played for 5 games, threw for 600 yards, and had if I remember right, he had a negative touchdown to interception ratio. None of that says Pro Bowler to me.
No. I'm surprised he got to 600 yards. I didn't even think he threw that much when he came in as the backup, So it's like there was nothing memorable from his little run.
No.
Except now, at all.
The only thing memorable was the fact that he got into the Pro Bowl. Otherwise, I would have forgot he played.
Yes, exactly.
But when they're like, oh, he's a Pro Bowler, I'm like, what? So
that needs an asterisk.
just for fun, even though people are gonna be like, you're a hater, and sure, okay. I hate what happened to the Pro Bowl, if that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
So just for fun number comparison. Now, it's reported that Trevor Lawrence did decline the offer to go, similar with Josh Allen. And I mean, literally everybody else in the AFC for this to even happen. But here's some fun numbers, just to let you know that I'm not hating. It's just, this is ridiculous. So if we compare him to Trevor Lawrence here, how is 1,400 yards? And mind you, this also includes a 350-yard game against the Titans. Otherwise, he wouldn't have even averaged 200 yards a game, right? He would have been averaging like 170 yards a game and 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I mean, realistically, you probably could have put Dylan Gabriel ahead of him. He had 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, only 900 yards, but a better passer rating. So, I mean, again, I hate what has happened to the Pro Bowl. It used to be, this really cool thing, right? Especially when it was still played after the Super Bowl, because then guys that were in the Super Bowl could be in there. So you legitimately had all the best players playing in this game. And then it was actual football, right?
Yeah.
So then it turns into what it does. It's before the Super Bowl, so now like half of your best players can't play, and it became this two-hand touch game. There was no more competition there, and now it's flag football. So I guess cool. You've watched the ratings of this game absolutely just fall apart. It used to be, the Pro Bowl used to get about 8 to 9 million views or watchers, and now they're lucky to get 5. So that lets you know they have completely ruined this sport. Because, I mean, you in this particular game, because you're losing over a third of your viewership since they've made this switch.
Yes. I'll actually put the NBA All-Star game on in the background while we're doing stuff, just because they're at least kind of playing this. And by the way, now the flag football game has moved to a Tuesday night. So they've just given up completely. They're like, you know what? Forget it. Nobody cares. I can't remember the last football one that I watched, but
I mean, the biggest thing is, so your players that are in the Super Bowl can't play, right?
Right.
So those guys are out of it. And it used to be, because this game was a point of pride for people, it was an all-star game. Nobody wanted to miss it. It was played in Hawaii and, all of that. Now it's before, half the guys can't be there. And instead of guys ducking out because of injuries, they're just like, yeah, I don't even want to do it. And so now you're ending up with situations where you have like Shedeur and Tyler Huntley and these kind of guys, not knocking the guys specifically, but you didn't have a year to have a Pro Bowl appearance.
Right.
So, I mean, why even have this thing anymore?
Yeah. I'm thinking if you come in with 7 games left in the season and you make the Pro Bowl, you went 7-0 or 6-1 or something, or like a Joe Burrow type of season like last year. All right, we looked at his 6 games and he threw, or 7 games, he threw for 2,100 yards. His team went 2-5, but it wasn't because of him. Look at this 20-1 touchdown ratio.
Yeah.
And I don't even think that's it anymore, because I don't think anybody cares. Maybe it's just sure people tune in, so maybe that part of it is right, Nick. I don't know. I know, Mike, I could not care any less. And I know half of the people who might actually tune in for this are probably just going to watch a college basketball game or a movie. I know for us, I think High Potential comes on Tuesday, so we'll probably watch that instead of watch the Pro Bowl. So you're not getting me on this one for sure. Yeah,
I mean, only because I'm going to have to talk about it, I might.
Why are you rubbing your head while you're
It's because it makes me sad that I'm going to have to watch this game, because if I wasn't doing this,
right,
there is a 0% chance that I would watch this game. But because I'm going to have to talk about it on shows, it's I'm gonna waste a bunch of time watching this horrible thing happen. Honestly, I would rather watch just about anything else, J-Beck. I mean,
I agree.
Like, it's
is the only thing now, don't some guys still have it in their contracts, or is there an incentive for making the Pro Bowl for a couple of people? So
there's still incentives. The Pro Bowl used to mean something, because like when you remember people's Hall of Fame conversations, they would be like, oh, he's made it to 10 Pro Bowls or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if that matters anymore. Like, it's still a conversation because it's always been one. Right. But I don't know if it really weighs in, right? Because I mean, when you're starting to see records like Shedeur's and Tyler Huntley's and stuff, those kind of guys getting in there, I just feel like it cheapens the Pro Bowl as far as meaning behind it. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if Trevor Lawrence really backed out, that makes you either think, A, he doesn't have that incentive, or B, like you said, it matters so little. It's almost like an agent's negotiating tool if they're trying to get a little extra money. But for the guys who've gotten paid, why do you even care?
If you decline it, you still got selected, though.
So then you still get to put it on your resume.
I guess I'm not really sure.
Because that would be interesting.
Because I think, Yeah, because then all of a sudden, you have like 500 Pro Bowlers one year because of all the people that backed out. Yeah, I guess I'm not really sure if you back out, if it still counts, because
Actually, to your earlier point, though, well, no, I guess if you made the Super Bowl and you got selected, that counts as a Pro
Pro
Bowl
Bowl year,
selection, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you get selected, it counts. Now, if you were an alternate and you declined, I don't know, right?
Right.
But if you were a starter and you just couldn't or something, I think you still get that designation. I don't know, man. Yeah, well, and that's the other thing, right? Is they're playing in a convention center this time.
Mm.
So, like, they're actively trying to just kill the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I
but
mean,
yet still somehow keep it around.
Yeah, that part I don't get. Like, just do the skills challenges and call it a day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And playing in a ballroom, if they're going to do it, it better be like that old NFL commercial where they like yank the football off the cake.
Thank you. I would watch that.
Right? That sounds hilarious. Yeah. I don't know. It's anyway, that's my rant about the Pro Bowl and how they've completely destroyed something that used to be pretty cool.
Yep, I agree.
I'm actually writing an article about how they've ruined the Pro Bowl. You know how bad you have to mess up for me to want to actually write an article?
I think they systematically, it's almost like somebody had a plan. All right, how do we do? All at once? No. Year by year, we'll just take a little bit away to where it's gone and nobody knows what would happen.
Great death by 1,000. So, sticking with the NFL, we have the Bills doing whatever they're doing. Now, they did decide on their DC. They're elevating him as their head coach. And that is because of the amount of people that pulled out of that job. And this has to be the owner GM tandem that people are like, hey, you know what? I think I'm good. So this is the owner and GM absolutely barbecuing their former coach and then crucifying a player still on their team.
I know. This one was wild to me.
I mean, I get the coach end of it, right? Because you're just like, hey, anytime someone's had somebody get fired, everything that ever happened was their fault, right? Because they can't dispute it. They're just like, oh yeah, everything that ever went wrong here was that guy's fault because he's gone and can't say anything about it. But to absolutely just trash a guy that's on your team that like is under contract for a couple of years more, that's wild work to me. If I'm that guy, I want to get out of the room.
Yes.
Like, if the entire front office hates me and thinks that I can't play and none of them wanted me, man, that's a tough place to work. So here is this soundbite.
Particularly when I went to bed that night, I was like, it's Keon unless someone just blows us away. We didn't feel anything was attractive enough for us to pass up on Keon.
Yeah, I mean, can I interrupt? I'll address the Keon situation. The coaching staff pushed to draft Keon. I'm not saying Brandon wouldn't have drafted him, but he wasn't his next choice. That was Brandon being a team player and taking advice of his coaching staff, who felt strongly about the player.
So that's funny because videos exist.
Right. Which we all forget. We didn't scrub that?
He's like, that's the next best guy. Wasn't me. Like, all of a sudden, he's Shaggy over here.
Yes. I also like what he say. Being a team player, taking one for the team is really what he wanted to say. And say, I didn't want that guy. It was somebody like, come on, and somebody's still on the team. But like you said, it is we got rid of this guy, so everything lies at his feet, because that's just, what is it supposed to do? What are your positives here? You're gonna try and make your GM look better? Because that didn't work for me.
No, I mean, it made all of you look like liars. But not only that, how are you going to alienate one of your draft picks? I mean, I get it if you had also shipped him out of the room already. Be like, oh, yeah, he's the problem. He's gone. Coach was a problem. He's gone. Like, I get it, right? If you're just like burying everyone that was there, cool. You're burying guys that are still there.
Yes.
I don't know how that is. I don't know how that's going to bring any unity or continuity to a team. I mean, if you got a player that in the back of his mind is like, oh, they're going to ship me out of here the first chance they get. I mean, I guess you're just playing for yourself. That doesn't sound like a good team building event.
Not at all. Not at all. So I like you said, I see, I guess, where in the end you were going to move on. But yeah, exactly. Like this whole let me make myself look better at the expense of other people. I mean, what happened to just trying to get out here and win instead of doing the rest of this? And none of it makes any sense. And it shouldn't give you any more faith in the Bills organization. Like, oh, that's great. So we got a guy on the roster who nobody wanted. The GM got promoted because it's not his fault that this guy got drafted. So, okay.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
I like that it's not the GM's fault that they made GM decisions to bring a guy in. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Should have hired Phillip Rivers. I don't know if, Phillip Rivers pulling out is telling, right?
Yeah. He left.
I'll let you know that this little soundbite has more to do with a continuing situation because you had multiple legitimate head coaching opportunities for people that decided to take coordinator jobs instead.
Yeah.
That seems very telling. If you have head coaches that want a head coach again, and they're like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go be a coordinator instead of this job. That does not inspire confidence. If you are a Bills fan, you got to be worried about that.
Right. And I told you, I just listened to some Bills podcasts over the week, guys who are really, really in tune. They're shocked that the GM, the beam wasn't gone also. And they're thinking, you look at this roster, this was not a championship roster. You mentioned on offense, it was Josh Allen or bust. I know Cook did well, but your best wide receivers seem to be tight ends at times. And that's just not a key to winning. And then defensively, they were because I don't know all the personnel. So I'm listening to these guys, but it's like way more misses than hits on the defensive side. And then you look at the guy and basically the GM gets promoted, which you're basically the owner saying, you did an excellent job. The coach screwed it all up. Okay. He just didn't know what to do with these guys. And then, like I said, the first time a miss gets brought up, and like Nick said, not even maybe brought up, just talking in general, and then make a point to say, oh, no, that wasn't his fault because he's great at what he does. You can't just sidestep it because what that tells me as a coach is if I get in here in 3 years, they fire me. Yeah. It'll be my fault again. And the GM or the guy, now he's got promoted is untouchable. Like, who wants that kind of thing? I don't probably have any say in the room because this is the owner's right-hand man. He loves him, right? Yeah. But any mistakes will come back on me. Who wants to enter that situation?
Well, it appears nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just wild the way that is coming together. And then, of course, obviously it spurs a little bit different conversation, right? Because then people were mad that Phillip Rivers was even getting a conversation. And so Stephen A jumps on and is like, Ryan Clark should have got one with the Steelers. It's like, okay. So I don't think I don't know why everybody has to try and force feed this as a race situation. Phillip Rivers has been coaching. Right. It's not like it's like, hey, let's just grab a guy off TV. He legitimately coaches football and has since he left football.
Right.
Now, he's not doing it at the highest level. Sure. Right. He's coaching high school football, although he's turned that program around since he got there.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's just such a ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Stephen A. So there's that.
Yeah. I didn't click on it because I didn't care. But I did wonder where the Ryan Clark, like, is he trying to get into coaching? Was this a thing, or is it just let me just throw out a black guy that's next to me and say why shouldn't he be elevated into position? So that's what you think Pittsburgh needs right now is just to hire a guy, Like I didn't even understand where it was, but because it was Stephen A, I was like, I'm not clicking that, not listening to it. I'm not giving him my time.
Yeah, I wasn't. I didn't search it out.
Yes.
Right? After 3 different people sent me the link, I was like, I guess I'll watch this. Like, I can't do Stephen A most of the time because
no.
Stephen A's a jerk. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just being louder than everybody doesn't make you right.
That's yes.
So
yeah.
like, I just have a hard time listening to it because it's like, okay, like you just get louder to try and drown out an opposing. Like that doesn't say anything to me. That means you just don't have enough information to like actually debate.
Basically, yeah.
So
we have a station, not a podcast here in Mama that's actually trying to do that now, and they're elevating somebody like, hey, do you want to come on and debate such and such? And people know I don't like him, and so they asked me like, do you want to go on and debate him? I said no, because I've seen his debate style: start yelling, get real emotional, and say this, and I'm like, it's not a debate to me. Who's louder should not win. Whoever can outtalk, that's a filibuster. Whoever can outtalk the other person is not winning, and that's what I look at when I see Stephen A. Plus, these guys seem to make it personal. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. What? Oh, okay. So
right.
I'm good on all that.
No, I mean, I can't watch any of those.
No.
So I don't know. But after I got it sent to me a few times, I'm like, fine, I'll watch it. And even when you look at Ryan Clark's face in that, it looked like he didn't think he should be coaching.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Those things are ridiculous. So yeah, that was one thing that was funny about Phillip Rivers getting the phone call and, Stephen A just randomly throwing Ryan Clark's name at the Steelers job. The Steelers job's not attractive anyway. So I don't think he would necessarily want that job, but
right. Yeah.
Yeah. And we are going to get to the Michael Irvin segment, but we're going to wait for our radio audience to, because that one may not necessarily be the smooth jazz kind of
you might get a phone call.
hey, right? So, yeah. And I mean, Nick, so this is where if Ryan Clark was getting a phone call as a defensive back coach or something like that, makes all the sense in the world to me. Orlovsky, if he was going to be a quarterbacks coach or passing game coordinator or something like that to start in the NFL path, totally get it. Phillip Rivers is going from actively coaching, right? Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily be grabbing people off TV that have had no coaching on their resume to come be the head coach of a multi-billion-dollar football team, to be one of 32 jobs in the world, right? I probably want somebody that's been doing some coaching.
Right.
So,
and I think people are missing that a lot. I think they're seeing it in certain college spots where guys are kind of jumping ahead and maybe they're seeing that, but this is a lot different in the pros. And you're talking about at the highest level, and you don't really have, a lot of these programs that are doing it college wise have, hey, look, I just need you to rebuild this thing. We'll give you some grace, some leeway without all eyes on you, versus the Steelers do not need to hire a guy who's never been a coach. And like you said, it's not a great situation anyway. So you have to do some work there. So I don't even get why they did. And I don't know why Stephen A, if he was running the Steelers, he wouldn't hire Ryan Clark. So let's not make dumb suggestions.
Exactly.
That you want other people to do. So.
Yeah, and the Jeff Saturday thing made no sense there, Nick. Even when they did it, everybody was like, what? But he was Irsay's friend.
Right.
So that's how that happened. That being said, it is time to let our radio audience go. If you're listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, enjoy some smooth jazz coming your way, coming up next. Otherwise, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Steelers. If you want to catch that, jump on over to our YouTube at Football-Talk. Catch the second half of the show. Otherwise, we will see you all next week. All right. So, the Steelers' job is really not very good. And then, of course, they go and get Mike McCarthy, who is he's a Pittsburgh guy. So, I mean, I guess cool. They do like their hometown stories.
Right.
That being said, for all of you that were clamoring for Mike Tomlin to get fired, I know you were sitting there like, yeah, fire him. And then you're like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah. Did we just rehire him?
Yeah, right. Wait, we messed up.
Yes.
So yeah, no, it's just a weird. The Steelers situation is strange as well.
Yeah, and I don't get it. Like, was part of the point really to try and keep Aaron Rodgers? That's the reason why you did it too, because
it's the only thing I can think of.
That makes no sense either. But it was almost like they were like, you know what? Instead of going 9-8, we'd like to maybe push 10-7 and a first round exit, because that's what I feel like McCarthy is. But the rest, I don't know. I still see it getting better, and it just seemed like a lazy hire by the Steelers.
Well, especially when you figure, Rodgers probably doesn't come back, because I mean, I get that Rodgers won a championship with McCarthy. I get it. Is everybody just forgetting that the last 5 years of them together, they hated each other? Like,
right.
I don't see how that just randomly is like, oh, let's come back and make your last year terrible. So,
right.
You have that. You have the most expensive defense in the league that wildly underperformed, that you have contracts expiring, so that's going to go away. You still have massive issues with that offensive line. I mean, there's so much not to like about this team. And then you throw McCarthy in there. You have no answer at quarterback. You were too good to get one of the two guys that are going to be available. Yeah, it just – that situation for this next year is probably not great. You're probably going to see your first losing season there. And, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. No, it's I don't think so. I don't think he is the push them over the top kind of person. And given like his last little run, I just don't. And the fact that you're like, I don't hate the hire, that's not a positive. Like, that's not what you'd put on the commercial. Hey, Mike McCarthy, I don't hate it. Like that. See what I mean? Like, it is not inspiring. And for a team like Pittsburgh, you expect better.
I can see them interviewing fans. They're like, what do you think of the McCarthy, hire? And they're like, It's like,
exactly.
Well, that's inspiring.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. Like, we have a friend who is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and we're texting him afterwards, and he is just not. And I'm like, you're more dialed in than the rest of us. So he was, okay, it was time for Tomlin to go, and then we got McCarthy. That's what the first thing he tweeted. We should have just kept Tomlin if this is what we were doing. Like, if this is the path you were on, just keep the guy who's already been working with this, and maybe squeezing the most out of that team versus bringing in McCarthy.
And you probably had the better chance of Rodgers coming back if that was the plan, right?
Right.
Since he went there to be with Tomlin anyway. Now, Tomlin leaving makes a lot of sense if you want to preserve the fact that you've never had a losing season, because what you're looking at going into this next year is a losing season.
Yeah. Yes.
So
I could not have been the coach of the Steelers, because I would have got rid of Aaron Rodgers immediately. Plus, I'm like all offense, no defense. So I probably could even name all the defensive positions, but I'd be like all in on the offense and studying and play calling and everything. And defense, I'd have been like, do whatever you guys want. Y'all are paid pretty high. So that would have been bad.
all of a sudden, they're the Bengals. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, look, you just got to be honest here. So if I ever got hired and I had to start coaching, I would be a offensive coordinator for sure.
And Rodgers might. Honestly, if there's a team in the league that could actually use him, it's the Vikings, because their roster is set up to win.
Right.
And the problem with letting JJ McCarthy evolve into the quarterback they think maybe he can be one day is the rest of their team won't still be there by the time he's ready.
Right. The
So
timeline is too far.
if you're looking at their offensive weapons, a pretty decent defense, you're legitimately a quarterback away from being highly competitive. I wouldn't necessarily call you a Super Bowl team, but all you got to do is get in the playoffs and then anybody can, anything can happen. Right. So if you were to have, and I know you don't like Rodgers, but if there was any team in the league that could benefit from Rodgers' skill set, it would be the Vikings for this next year.
Right.
He'd finish his Brett Favre arc of following everywhere he went. And, maybe he could get it done with the Vikings, but it's the only team I can think of that legitimately are a quarterback away from being in the conversation.
Right. I mean, you gave up on your quarterback who was technically a number 2 seed in the NFC, but just because the number 1 seed happened to be right above them, dropped out, and let him go to now he's in the Super Bowl, and you badly miscalculated the J.J. McCarthy and then Carson Wentz, and I can't remember who the third guy was at this point. But like you said, their timeline is way different, Justin Jefferson's not is not going to want to sit around and wait for him to develop. He's like, look, man, these are my years right now.
It's
like
the
you
prime.
said,
Let's go.
And you paired him with Addison, and you kind of need to start winning sooner rather than later before that's, some of these guys start to get too expensive to keep together. So I wholeheartedly agree. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is they absolutely they're set up to win right now if you can get the quarterback situation figured out. And Donna, I don't think that you're talking about MVP Rodgers, no question.
Mm-hmm.
But you're certainly talking about somebody that's elevating past what J.J. McCarthy's been able to do. I mean, Darnold went 14 wins with that team. So you get a guy that, again, is just in the upper quarter, right? Like you don't have to have Mahomes, Josh Allen in there, right? Like you can have a lesser than Aaron Rodgers or, a good game manager, right? Essentially that's what you have out of Darnold, right? Like he's not going to go be Superman and win you a bunch of games. But if you have somebody that is protecting the ball and can competently run the offense, if you're a top third, top quarter talent, you could take the Vikings a long way. Yeah. We've just seen that J.J. McCarthy is not even remotely close to that yet.
Right. He'd have one or two good quarters and then take the rest of the, game off. But look no further than Rodgers still managed to get to the, to the playoffs with a mediocre offense. The weapons get severely upgraded in Minnesota. And given how much the Pittsburgh defense was getting paid, you're not having that big a drop off to go to the Vikings defense. It might even be better at this point. So yes, I agree. He could make a difference just because he'd have different people to throw to. His what was it, DK Metcalf, and then Metcalf drops a pass. He's like, I'm not throwing to that guy ever again. And then where's your second and your third guy? I think the backup running back was like their second best pass catcher for much of the games, So yeah, I think he can make a difference there for sure, just because of the weapons, Oh,
for sure. And Donna, their offensive line is good enough with the Vikings because Rodgers does actually have a quick release. So it's not like he hangs onto the ball or anything. Right. So
we're not saying Super Bowl here. We're just saying, hey, this is a team where he can make a difference. And then, like you said, one of the few that has a lot of things in place and can take on an older quarterback.
No. I'm with you. Yeah. Speaking of head cases, moving on from Rodgers here.
Oh Lord.
We got Brandon Ayuk. And so this is where that relationship is so fractured that now the GM John Lynch is like, we're good.
Yeah.
Plan for Brandon Ayuk, and do you envision a scenario in which he's on this team next year? If so, what would that look like?
Yeah. The plan in terms of the transaction, that will come in due time. I think it's safe to say that he's played his last snap with the Niners. It's unfortunate. situation that just went awry. And, I will look long and hard at, what could have been done differently, but sometimes just doesn't work out. And I think that this was a case where that happened.
I don't know that I've ever seen a player sign their deal and then not even show up to meetings to collect the check.
Right.
I mean, I get it. You're unhappy there for whatever reason. How are you not showing up to just get your money? Right. Yeah. It's not like you got to go and do anything. You're injured, so you don't have to really practice. You're just doing your rehab, whatever. But they want you to show up to the meetings. I can tell you, if you're giving me $20-30 million a year, you know what I'm doing? I'm sitting at that little table being like, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, I don't.
Yeah. There's a lot of us that do it for a lot less. I mean, if you just had a meeting and you fed me lunch, I might just show up for the meeting.
That's
so I don't, like you say, wait, no running, no jumping, no, just free meal. Yeah. And like a $25, Walmart gift card. Like, all right, guess I'm there. You know what I mean? Like, none of this makes sense, but now you're like 20 to 30 million. Yeah. I mean, and like you said, to wherever it fractured, are you just upset that it drug out over the offseason? That don't sign the bigger deal, Well, plenty of guys force their ways other plays. Yeah.
Your wide receiver one, just play,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You bring food, like I'm probably showing up. Like,
yeah. You know what I mean? Oh wait, I can take something to go. Oh, great. This is amazing.
Get me that styrofoam container. Let's
yes. I don't understand.
Let me just go ahead and say absolutely not. Neither one of those teams would want the headache of Ayuk. He would not be a good culture fit here in Seattle for sure. And there's just too much talent on that Vikings team to want that kind of headache in the room.
Right. Like to come in as your wide receiver 3, but want wide receiver 1 money. And he's clearly not wide receiver 1 in Seattle. So
no, absolutely. So yeah, if you saw him on another team, it's going to be the Browns. It's going to be some dysfunctional team.
The Steelers.
It could be the Steelers. It could. I mean, honestly,
why not?
They do kind of dial into the head case action. Cue up DK and Pickens and AB and Juju. And I mean, don't even really need to go much further, but there's a pattern.
Yes.
Cowboys for sure could be an option there.
He's got to get rid of Pickens though. So I think what they do is they have a cage match between Pickens and Ayuk, and the winner gets to sign with the Cowboys. Boom.
Well, especially, I mean, I think it'd be funny if they did it though, if they brought it in for the Cowboys, because then all of a sudden that receiver room would be as toxic as it could possibly be.
Yes. And I thought he was going to force his way to the Commanders, Nick, and then it was just like he wanted the money from San Francisco instead of pushing for that. So I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The list goes on and on. 7 games. That honestly, that does sound about right. 7-8 games is probably what the Steelers ends up with. So, okay.
And by the way, the Steelers do have to play a first place schedule next year, right? So that since they won their division.
Yeah. No, I mean it's gonna be a tough year if you're a Steelers fan.
Enough said.
So that being said, in the land of weird, Michael Irvin exists, and so everybody thought that like he was high on the sideline or something, like, because he's just out there losing his mind for multiple games, and so it finally got to the point where he addressed it, right? But the way he addressed it didn't really help him out too much. So here's this soundbite.
Wait. First of all, y'all know damn well Coke don't last 5 hours. Y'all know damn well Coke don't last 5 hours. And I hadn't partaken in 20 years. But if you got some 5-hour stuff, let me know. That's just what I'm saying, man. Like, stop it. Like, stop saying this stuff. You know what I mean? You've been looking at me for the last 5 hours. Hey, there's no way I can do something on this sideline.
I just like that he went from he's just like, you got some 5-hour stuff, let me do it.
Yeah, let me know. Because you know what, during halftime I've been taking the 2-hour stuff just to get me through, you know. Oh, Michael Irvin. I love it with the shot of him whipping a Gatorade cooler. No, guys, that was me not high.
Exactly. No, it was. I was going to put more clips together, but I just couldn't get them to download correctly because once I popped them down for my video there, they got real grainy, and I was like, that doesn't look good. But because he was doing that stuff at every game through the playoffs,
right?
And you know, like crawling around on the ground and whatever. And you're just like, maybe the sidelines are just made of Coke. Like, I don't.
Yes. I know. Oh, I like the implication. Then his whole defense is, I couldn't have gotten away with doing it in the middle of the game. What? That's the defense we're going with? All right, Mike.
Yeah, not that I wouldn't. Just that, I mean, there's cameras. People would see it.
Believe me, I try. I mean, can we scratch that last part? Not what I meant. Not what I meant at all.
Yeah. No, it just so he's such a weird dude. Now don't get me wrong. I wish I had his energy level today.
Sure. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
But
and he was excited about his team, and I get that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was. And I'm sure after that interview, he gets off there, and his publicist is like, "That's not what we talked about at all. Like, why did you have to say that at all?"
We won't let him in the medical tent.
What was that game where the medical tent got blown over, and they're like, "Well, you want to see what's in the medical tent? Nothing. It's just a tent.
It's a table." Yeah. For him, it's the blue bump box is what it is.
Yes. Michael Irvin's in the medical tent for the third time in the first half. Okay.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just a table. So the other interesting story that came out in the Athletic 2 days ago now. And it was talking about the relationship between Cooper Kupp and the Rams when he was getting ready to leave. And so the thing that's interesting about it is everybody's running with this story now. And it's the only reason we're talking about it, because every report of this all ties to this one article written in the Athletic.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're talking about how the Rams reportedly were trying to tank the market for Kupp, trying to urge him to retire instead of moving to another team, and potentially even sabotaging conversations with people that were reaching out about him, right? But then when you look at the article, there's all these qualifiers of felt like, believed, right? So you have all these qualifying words in there of basically there's no real meat to this.
Right.
But now everybody's latching onto this story, which again is the only reason we're talking about it. But I hate stories that are like this, that there's nothing. They're like, oh yeah, this was the feeling when I interviewed Kupp and whatever. But even that, it's hearsay at best.
Right. So what sparks an article like that, I guess, in the first place? And I definitely missed that part of it, but some of it sounds weird on the I mean, Rams, you could have just kept him, you know. So like tanking. So what is this, one of those, or is the article alleging if I can't have you, nobody can? like one of those sort of situations.
It sounded like they wanted to move on from him, but they didn't
Right.
want anyone else to take him. So they're like, hey, you
Yeah.
know what? We're going to let you go, but you should retire. Like,
Right. Right. Because we don't want to look bad if you go somewhere else and you do well, which is,
exactly.
the ego of a lot of these front offices. But
Yep.
now I'm going to have to do a dive into it. But I agree with you. I want to hear, like, if you're writing something that's that explosive behind the scenes kind of stuff, like I need some, yes, this is what happened and this is what was said versus, it was the general feeling. I mean, I can write that article. Yeah, you know what? Bo was on the show this morning. I had the general feeling that Bo saw Michael Irvin do coke on the sideline.
That's what I'm like. That's why I never love stories that are like this, right?
Right.
If it's an article, but because it has all these qualifiers, you don't have any conversations with potential other GMs. Like, it would be one thing if there was at least the little blurb in there that was, talking to a GM in the league that wanted to remain anonymous, whatever, right? Like, if you have that line in there and they're like, this is what was said to them by the Rams, you could at least kind of get with that. But when it's just like, oh, the general feeling and believed, and you're just like, okay, so you basically don't have anything. But because this is a little bit slower time of year as we wait for the Super Bowl, because Pro Bowl doesn't matter.
For sure.
We're just putting stuff out there because it'll work. And now everybody's picking up this one story.
Right.
But there's nothing on the back end of it. Now,
Right.
We haven't heard anything from the Rams. We haven't heard anything from Cup. Not that you would, but it's just a story that lives out there that everyone's attaching to that has no substance to it. And I'm not saying that it wasn't good reporting. I'm not saying that he didn't have that conversation with Cup. Like, I'm not saying any of that. But when your whole story is based on a general feeling and that's what they thought the feeling was, you're just like, okay, but that, I mean,
Right.
there's no facts behind it, right? Like, it's empty calories.
Right. Well, even just like a quick Google search and you see this, Cup reportedly believed that the Rams advised, but and I'm like, so did he say it or not say it? Or you're saying somebody next to him, they were playing Madden one day and the way he talked, he thought, you know what I mean? Like, they read into something. Either I said it or I didn't say it. But if you're like, yeah, Herb reportedly said he doesn't like Raj, did I say it or not say it?
It wouldn't even be that you said it. It would just be like, Herb's feeling was that,
right.
And it's like, okay, so this is all just hearsay with nothing substantial behind it. And you're just like, okay,
Right.
Why is everyone picking this story up?
Yeah.
And again, maybe there's something to it, but the way that the article's written, there's not yet.
Right. Right. What's more likely here is, yes, the Rams were ready to move on for Cup and thought he'd hit a decline. And there are Cup, stuff, the articles out there that Cup actually says, yes, I feel like, they were using me less and less in the offense. Okay. Those I get. They were ready to move on. Yes. They had other options. Yes. They prioritized those people. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
but going to tank you with everyone else, that's a bit much. Like, who cares at that point?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they had Nakua. Obviously, they were moving off a Cup. Like, that's just the nature of football.
Right.
That makes sense. Sure. But all of this other stuff, and you're just like, okay, so, who did you talk to? Or at least allude to the fact that you did talk to somebody.
Right. Right.
Like, we don't know any different. So, I mean, if you at least put it in there, like, an anonymous GM said this is whatever. Because we have no way to corroborate that.
Yeah. I'd be the worst writer because every single one of mine would be anonymous source here, anonymous source there. You'd be like, Herb doesn't even have a cell phone. He just sits in his robe all day typing out articles. He doesn't talk to anybody. But, man, these anonymous sources jump out left and right.
Source is so anonymous, Herb doesn't even know it.
No, yep. The voice just came to me last night, and this morning I came out with the article,
Uh, Yeah, I don't know. Those are the things that you're just looking at. And, this whole segment right here probably barbecues the fact that I applied at the Athletic. So they're probably like, oh, you just trashed our one of our guys. So no.
Appreciate that, Donna. Have a good one.
Take it easy. Good stuff. That being said, that does get us to the top of the show. We appreciate you watching along with us. Be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our content to you. Otherwise, we will see you all next week. Or if you're on my channel, stay tuned in a couple of minutes here, and we are going to be doing Coast to Coast. Other than that, take it easy, everybody.